Hello everyone, this is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald bringing you a message here for today, Monday. Happy Monday to everybody. It is the 9th of January 2023 and out of the traditional Rider-Waite deck today, we have the Five of Cups. And so before I continue, I wanted to just point out, if you can see it in this card with my light here and the lighting, the bottom of this person's robe, there's a little bit of blue, as if they have jeans on under the robe. And then notice the black color of the cloak that they are wearing. And then, of course, the white bridge that goes over the river in the background of the scenery that, of course, takes you to new horizons. And so with this Five of Cups, I'm really feeling like the first thing that comes through with this is it is time to cross that bridge. Now, when you look at this card, you look at somebody who's really come through a time of sadness and grief and maybe perhaps loneliness, right? Some isolating, working through some emotions. And I feel like we're really coming to a space where we're feeling empowered like never before. And I feel like you've been climbing this hill. You're probably on the top of the hill and maybe even on the descent at this point because you've come through all of those difficulties and you've done all of the difficult part now. It's time for the triumph. It's time for your personal victory. And this is where that empowered piece comes in. And so you're ready to turn your back on the past and look at those two cups that are standing. What is there that's out there for you that the universe has to offer you? What's that? And what are you going to go explore next? What's on the horizon now for you? So, I feel like you have a lot going for you. And I think that the lesson that you learned through all of that grief and all of that difficulty was that there's a grand design of things, right? This is all purposeful. Everything that happens, it's all by design. And the thing that you understand about that is that you had to go through that, right? There was a lesson within all of that difficulty. And part of that is you didn't know how strong you were, and now you do. And so this is part of embracing that strength within you. And so that is part of the piece that's feeling so empowering. You feel like you can conquer the world, you can do anything. And so what's happening though is along the way, of course, you're still going to have those times where you have doubts, right? It's like your mind is pulling out all the stops as if it's trying to break you down, or like, wait, whoa, this is a big change. Are you sure this is what you want to do? It's like mental trickery. And so you really have to, make sure that your mental fitness is on point. Your mental game is on point. And you have to start to question what's happening. Like, question those thoughts that are coming through, those doubts, those fears, and really understand that when that happens, our mind really tends to distort facts. And we really have a different perception of what's really happening out there, right? And so you, in the end, don't want to be crying over spilled milk, right? We don't want to be looking at things, making things much bigger than they really are. So make sure that you are taking in the facts and that you are looking things in the eye and seeing it for what it is. And so, honor your feelings, right? Of course, honor your feelings, because that's how you heal it, right? You have to feel it to heal it, and then you can release it. But we don't want to be sitting in that space and dwelling on those emotions, right? So if it becomes too much and you can't handle sitting with those emotions, okay, take a break from it. No big deal. Go for a walk. Do the things that you need to do. Distract yourself for a while. Then sit with it again, right? And that's part of feeling it to heal it. And so at some point, though, you really need to be willing to start to release some of these feelings, right? Rather than holding on to them or stuffing them down and not dealing with them at all, because that's really not a healthy situation. So I feel like ultimately you're wanting and longing for something more. And I feel like it's right there for you, right? You look at the Two of Cups there. It's right there for the taking, right? It's yours if you want it. It's just going to have, a little bit of work associated with it. You have to put in a little bit of work to get there, right? You have to walk across the landscape and walk across the bridge and probably face a little bit of the animals that come out of the woods, right? That's our trickery from our mind. The animals that are coming out of the woods, you have to kind of fend them off a little bit, right? But I feel like you have to choose that, right? You have to decide that that's what you want. And then you have to tap into that inner strength in order to be able to accomplish that. And I'm going to get to that in a second. But this is where that blue color kind of comes in, right? Where we look at the bottom of this person's robe or cloak, whatever you want to call it, and you see like there may be blue jeans are kind of hanging at the bottom. So when I looked at that, the lyrics to Keith Urban came through, right? Blue ain't your color. And now that is in fact true, right? We don't want to be sad. We don't want to be sitting in our sadness. We don't want to allow that to define us, because when we talk about feeling blue or feeling down or feeling sad, right, that it is a very much a low vibrational energy, right? We want to bring ourselves out of that as much as we can. So once we allow ourselves to feel those feelings, to heal that, to release it, once we release it, it's not holding us back any longer. It's not holding us down any longer, right? And so when we get into a space where we're embracing that cloak. Now, what's funny about the black cloak? A lot of people think of black as somebody who is grieving. Sure, this person in this card is grieving, right? And when we go to funerals, we wear black, right? But when you look at this, there is a power to wearing black, right? Black is actually very much associated with power, okay? It's also very much associated with mystery. Somebody can be very mysterious or sophisticated. It can be very elegant even, right? Think of wearing a nice black gown to a ball if you're, going to go out dancing for the night, or a black tuxedo, right? Like, it's very nice. And so think of that as your power, the black cloak being your power, like your super cape, right? If you're Superman, you're going to wear that black cape, or Superwoman. So black can be something that evokes a lot of emotion in yourself and in others, right? So think of wrapping yourself in this black cape. This can be your superpower. This can be your strength. This can be tapping into your own authority. And so when I talk about that authority, right, we want to talk about connecting to your inner authority, your intuition, your gut feelings, right? Or just have that sense of knowing. Some people just have that sense of knowing. So think about when you put that cape on and you're wrapping yourself up in that strength. Think about that inner authority now that you're tapping into, and think about what emotion it evokes with that, because that's how we manifest things, right? We have to tap into that emotion, and when we tap into that emotion and we feel into it, that's when we can bring that into our reality. So when you're tapping into your inner authority, when you're tapping into your inner knowing, when you know what you're absolutely needing to do, and how does that make you feel when you start to take those actions, right? Even if you're just thinking about those things, when you're envisioning that for yourself, how does it make you feel? Because this is what it means for you to be strong, right? And that's that strength that you've gotten from this lesson, right? Making up over that hill, all those difficulties, that's that strength that you have gained. So now how are you going to put that to work now, right? And how are you going to move forward with that? That's the question, right? Because this is about seeing what lies ahead and how you can use that strength to fight off those animals as they come out of the woods to get you to where you want to be as you cross that path into that bridge and into that castle on the other side. There's a beautiful horizon waiting for you, and you just have to be willing to claim it and do a little bit of work to get you there. And you can do that. I believe in you. So I hope this reading resonates for you in some way, shape, or form. As always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. If you're interested in your own personal reading, please don't hesitate to message me at enchantedemeraldny@gmail.com, or you can pop me a message in the messenger there on Facebook. Enchanted Emerald is my page there. or you can just simply book a session at the square site pinned in the description box below here on YouTube or at the top of my page on Enchanted Emerald on Facebook. And I hope everybody has a phenomenal week. Thank you so much. Take care.